What is up, fellow bench warmers? This is your daily fantasy quickie. What's up, guys? It's day 3. 4 teams debuted today. And we have here, of course, I'm your host, Jeremy Tan, or JJT, with Komish Eric. 3 games. Guys. With 4 teams debuting. Let's talk about each game. Siguro, I think that's the best way to go. Talk about each game. The Dallas Mavericks and the Atlanta Hawks. It's Luka versus Trae Young. Were you disappointed with Luka?
Yeah, a little bit. But I expected Atlanta to cover and to win today. But Dallas has a new coach, so we expect some figuring it out, some problems to adjust, some adjustment period. So I expected them to struggle, but Luka had one of the worst games as far as I remember. Never had a game like this.
It wasn't really bad. He had 18, 11, and 7.
But that was mostly in garbage time.
Yeah, but that salvaged his stat line, I guess, for his owners. Of course, it's not the first round level of stat line that you would expect, but hey, a lot of first rounders did not show up. Some of the first rounders did not show up on their first day. Like we talked about Tatum, we talked about Curry the other day. Didn't go as well as we expected. Harden put up pretty much similar line as Luka did.
Did he? I think
he had
28 and 8.
8 and 8. I mean, it's not too far off, I guess.
But Luka was 6 of 17 and he had 5 turnovers. So it was much worse. And I have a level of concern because it's Jason Kidd. I'm not a fan of Kidd. I don't like his coaching style. And here today he kind of tried to change their system a little bit. Not much 3-pointers so far. So I don't know if it will work, but doesn't look good for Luka's, well, to begin with, inflated draft spot already. So this doesn't help him. But 4 out of 4 free throws. So road to 80% is strong and alive. The road to 80% is alive. So that's good. That's the good news.
Yeah,
for Luka.
Yeah, and they might be trying to get Kristaps more involved in the offense.
Well, actually, that's the one I'm disappointed with, Kristaps. I'm not more disappointed with Kristaps than Luka. That's the thing I was expecting today. I was expecting Kristaps to have a big game today.
Kristaps had 11 points, 5 rebounds, 1 steal, and 2 blocks.
And how many minutes?
28 minutes.
Exactly. That was the one I was really disappointed with. I was thinking that Jason Kidd would really use him a lot, but he played less than 15 minutes or 14 minutes in the first half. So I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's just the first game jitters. I hope, because if not, I'm gonna be concerned because I own some Kristaps. So that's a concerning one for me.
From the fantasy perspective, Dallas here, if you talk about the players that somehow you should be owning, I think, of course, Luka and Kristaps are there. Tim Hardaway, maybe if you need some
3-pointers, yes.
He had 14 points today and a few threes, and that's pretty much all he does. Of course, he can kill your field goal, but I think in a 14 team, he's still a rosterable player. Similar to how Duncan Robinson is with the Heat. Dorian Finney-Smith is another player who's a little bit underrated, I guess.
He's the best underrated player because there are other players like him, like Royce O'Neal, like Nick Batum. Well, Nick Batum is good, but for me, Dorian Finney-Smith is the younger one, the more upside guy, and has more potential to increase his very paltry points.
No, I mean, I guess to perform consistently, he is better than, let's say, a Royce O'Neal.
Yes.
Royce O'Neal can give you zeros in one night and good numbers on one night.
Yes.
Dorian Finney-Smith can give you consistently good numbers, or even if it's a low number, it's a
Across
not
the
too
board.
bad. Yeah,
Across the
board
board. He has
contribution.
like today, I think he has 8 rebounds and some steals, and
He just
I
didn't
think
shoot the ball well. He was 2 out of 12,
8.
and 2 of 12, and to be given 12 shots, that's already a bonus for those who.
Then that's what I'm saying. Jason Kidd seems to want to give other people shots in the system. So could be good or bad. It could be good for Dorian Finney-Smith if he gets more shots, if he makes them. But if he's gonna shoot like this, that's gonna hurt you. So let's see, because if he's gonna shoot poorly, he's not gonna be rosterable for me.
Yeah. But today he also had 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals.
Yes.
Some people are asking about that center position, because I think that's, of all of the Dallas roster, I think that center is the only question mark. Dwight Powell.
I'm not.
He's the only, probably what I couldn't think of another center who is starting who would most likely be not rosterable.
Yeah, Dwight Powell will.
He's probably one of those guys starting.
Will give you good games here or there, but he's not gonna be consistent, so it's hard. So if you're in a 12-team league, a definite no. 14-team league, no also. 16-team league,
maybe
at the fringes.
I think he's safely in the 18 to 20 team league, around those.
Yes, and a streamer.
The problem with him as well is he has other centers here, there in the Dallas lineup.
Not others, a lot. They have Boban. They have Willie Collins. Maxi, and Moses Brown.
Cleaver, and they have Moses Brown, who didn't play today. So
Moses is a drop. Moses is not rosterable. We knew it coming to the season, but some people were drafting him. If you still own him, drop him. Maxi actually is the guy that I'm more interested in. If he's given,
but he's up and down. I mean,
but Maxi is more consistent in a way than Dwight Powell. Last year he was better, but the problem was this year I think Powell is healthier, so he starts already. Last year Kleber had a stretch where he was starting and he was good. So if a change happens, maybe if he suddenly starts, or if Kristaps gets injured, which is possible, Maxi is the best ad.
Always on the lookout for that. Moving on to the Atlanta side, everyone played pretty well. John Collins had 16 and 9, 2 blocks. Of course, Trae Young had 19 and 14 assists. And we talked about the elite assists of Trae. The only things I think missing from Trae is the free throws. He only had 5 attempts and 5 makes. But pretty much everyone, even Clint Capella had 12 and 13. I think he was almost perfect, or if not perfect, from the field.
It's hard to really see much from blowout games, which we have 2 today, and we only have 3 games. But Atlanta looks good. They're deep. They're all positions are deep. So that's good. About Trae Young, someone asked me if he's a first round guy. I think a top 12 guy. I don't think rankings wise he will be a top 12 or 14 guy. I think he's still gonna be in the top 30. He can reach top 20, but more if you want to be safe, top 30 possibly. But that's not bad in the category setting, because he gives you elite, as Jeremy said, assists, free throws. So the points, the 3-pointers, they're there. So if you just build correctly with him, you still have elite 5 categories with him. So I'm not. That's good. The assist today is good. The 5 free throws maybe is already gonna be a staple, because, as we know, there's no more.
They are letting
foul baiting.
They are letting a lot of calls go these days. If you watch the games, there have been some instances where in previous years that would have been a foul, but right now it's a non-call already. But let's talk about DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah, he's the guy.
I think one of the steals in this draft. Actually,
Yes.
I really can't believe he has been going at around past 100, 120. Some of
130.
some of my leagues 130, almost 140. And considering that last year he hit the top 30 mark for some time before going down. I mean, he is a stud. What do you
He
think
was
about
good.
DeAndre Hunter?
He was the one guarding Luka today, and he did a great job. So he looked healthy. That's the most important thing with DeAndre. So right now, the question with DeAndre is just whether he's healthy or not. That's it. If he's healthy, if he's gonna play 70, 75 games, that 130 is ridiculous.
Yep.
It's gonna be times two. It's gonna be times two of that. He's gonna end up times two of that range. So if you got him, congratulations, and pray that his knee holds up. That's the
Yep.
only concern.
And really, he doesn't have to put up big numbers.
He
I
won't.
think, yeah, and he just has to put up across the board numbers like he did before. Good amount of threes, steals, and blocks.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll easily make it to the top 100 this year.
He's an efficient shooter also. That's the reason why he's high in rankings. His good efficiency and kind of low turnovers. So that's good for him. The others, Cam Reddish, Kevin Huerter. Yeah, Cam Reddish.
Is Kevin Huerter a drop?
I 12 team? Is this
14.
12 team?
14
14, no. 14 for me. Yes, if there's a very hot free agent available, but if there's not,
Eric Bledsoe is the hot free agent today.
I will. If it's Bledsoe, I may consider that. But for me, Huerter is still rosterable. He's off the bench, but I think they don't have much point guard off the bench really. Lou Williams is out of the rotation, and Dillon Wright is their backup point guard. And I think Huerter is better than Dillon Wright, and he can give you more stats across the board, like DeAndre Hunter, but less shooting, less efficiency in shooting, and less minutes because it's off the bench.
More assists probably.
More assists. So Huerter for me is okay, but again, if there are very hot free agents, I'm okay with dropping Huerter because you can pick him up anytime again. He's gonna be dropped here,
Yeah.
Every so often.
Cam Reddish, not yet an ad, right? This is a blowout game.
It's a blowout. He's not shy on taking shots. I think he knows that he only will get 15 to 20 minutes. So every time he holds the ball, he just wants to shoot. That could be good or bad. But I'm scared of Cam Reddish. I'm scared of what will happen with the field goal.
Like we said, Atlanta's too deep.
Very
for
deep.
Someone like Cam Reddish to have
look
value.
Good.
We haven't even talked about Bogdan, but maybe in future quickies we'll be able to talk about Bogdanovic. Let's move on to the second blowout of the game, and this is like PJ Tucker's revenge game.
Yes, this one's more of a blowout.
Miami
from start
Heat
to finish,
and the Milwaukee Bucks. So I guess the hot players before are have settled down a bit. Jordan Nwora had 11 points, I guess, but I mean it's garbage time. Garbage.
Well, the whole game was garbage basically because from the start it was total blowout. We can't get much from it, but we know that Brook Lopez was out, back spasms.
Mm-hmm.
We know Drew was still out, but Drew was already probable or questionable before the game. So there was a chance he could play. So I don't think Drew will be out for long. That's good. That's good news. Brook Lopez sore back, maybe not too long also. But assuming they're out, there's still a lot of players out aside from them. Bobby Portis is still out. Dante DiVincenzo is still out. So there will be minutes available. And I think Grayson Allen is the main ad here. He's a starter and he has been good. He has been good the first two games. So I think you have to roll the dice with Grayson Allen.
And we talked about Giannis's free throw. I guess it's back down, back to earth for Giannis owner. 6 out of 10 today on the free throw line.
And another player, Pat Connaughton. I think we don't know yet if Brook will play the next game. I think you can add him, stream him for the next games of.
Would you rather have Pat Connaughton or Grayson Allen?
that's the question people are asking. I said Grayson, and I was Pat Connaughton before, but I guess Grayson has more opportunity because they're allowing him to play a little of the point. We drew out, so
Yeah.
he's handling the ball.
And
He's getting more shots.
He's the sure starter. I mean, at this point,
yes, that's it. Also,
they are really putting him out there with the starting five. So I think the opportunities would be there as long as he is making shots, and he is known to make shots from threes.
For the long term, Grayson Allen.
All right. So
for the short term, if Brook Lopez misses the next game again, I'm gonna add Pat Connaughton. I'm gonna add him. If Brook misses another game, because well, Giannis played center today, and they really don't have anybody else. It's Pat Connaughton at power forward, and then off the bench it's I don't know what's the name of his brother, Thanasis or something, and then Sandro Mamu, the rookie big. I mean, you guys don't even know this Sandro guy, but they don't have anybody left. So Pat, if Brook Lopez doesn't play the next game, Pat is a good stream.
Moving to the Miami Heat, it's the first time we saw the revamped Heat with, of course, Jimmy Butler played well, Bam Adebayo played well, Tyler Herro played well. Is this really going to be Tyler Herro's year? 27 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists.
Of course, not this good, but he will be okay. He will
be better than last year.
For sure. That's an easy call. But how much better is the question mark? But not this that is much. This is, well, again, garbage time. But he can get 20 points any given night, I think, this year. The bench is, as we talked about in the preview episodes, the bench is kind of weak, kind of shallow. So he'll get all the chances he can off the bench. So I think Herro, if he's still available in your wires, I don't know if there's still some Herro in your waiver wires. You should pick him up.
Herro would be quite a successful year if he averages like 16 points a game, 4 rebounds and 4 assists. I think that's a good number already for him if he can consistently do that.
I think he can do that. I think that's easy for him.
And just maintain good percentages because last year he shot really bad. Hopefully this year he'll shoot it better. Any worries about Kyle Lowry? He got injured a little bit.
It always gets injured. He's like the small guy Anthony Davis. He always has something, but he plays through it unless it's really something major. So I don't think it's an issue.
He shot 1 out of 8, 5 points, 6 assists.
As I said, the game was just out of hand, really. So I won't really put too much into it.
Yeah.
But Bam Adebayo's 1 assist, maybe that's the one I'm looking at. Of course, we know Lowry's there now, and Herro is starting to come into his own. Last year, Bam's value was a lot because of the 4 to 5 assists a game at the center position. So he had 20 and 13. That's good. But if he's only gonna average 1 assist now, I don't know. Maybe not top 20. But of course, I think it's not 1 assist. Maybe I hope it's 3. I hope it's 3.
Yeah, let's see. Again, it's still early, just the first game for the Heat team.
Yes.
And like we said, it's garbage time. So it's really hard to gauge. And most of the stats that Bam and Jimmy Butler got were in the first half. Most of these stats because it was garbage time. But so let's move on to the game that was the most exciting for today. The LA Clippers and the Golden State Warriors.
The Warriors.
Steph Curry got hot after a bad first game. Well, not really bad first game because he had a triple-double, but bad shooting first game.
First game, yeah.
He came out cooking 9 out of 9.
First quarter.
In the first quarter. And the thing about Steph Curry, when he's hot, he is hot. And I saw some of his shots, especially towards the end, and he's feeling it. He was really feeling it.
And that is why he's gonna lead the league in scoring this year. And that is why I think he's safe as a top 3 pick. And maybe even a top 2 pick. As I said, I'm not sure whether it's Harden or him that will end up number 2 or higher, but I think he is safe as a top 3 pick. And as you said, basically they don't have much other people really who can score and create offense on their own, except Steph. That's why they need him to score a lot.
How about Jordan Poole?
There. Let's talk about Jordan Poole. Steve Kerr had said that they would need to stagger Jordan Poole's minutes with Steph. He said that they said they have to have one of either of them on the court because of the lack of point guards, basically the lack of a person who can create, and that's good for Steph. I don't know if that's good for Jordan Poole, because if Poole plays beside Steph, I mean he gets open shots. People, would the gravity of Steph will help him, but what we saw a while ago, he was trying too much. He was all over the place. He was trying to create. He was trying to do all those ball handling, this and that. But he
was trying to be Steph, but no, he is not.
He was.
I mean, the ball handling of Steph is at an elite level. I mean, the way he moves is at an very controlled. You don't really, and if someone does it, it's glaring that they can't do it at his level. And I think Jordan Poole tried a little bit of that, but this Clippers team is a better, I guess, defensive team.
Yes.
Than the Lakers. The Lakers were just long, so it was easier to penetrate if you got the mismatch. But I think this Clippers team is a better perimeter defending team.
But remember, in the Lakers game, Poole was terrible in the first half. He got hot in the second half. That salvaged the line. Today he didn't get hot in the second half. But if 2 or 3 of his 3-pointers went in, he would be scoring also 20 points. 4 rebounds, 4 assists.
He had 9 today.
He missed 10 shots today. If he just made 2 of his shots, he'll be 15 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. We will not be talking about, hey, should I drop Jordan Poole or not? That's why I always say that Jordan Poole will have to have his shots fall for his value to stick, because that's really, really where we need to see him perform. Points, 3-pointers, because his other stats is very inefficient. He has 7 turnovers today. So I don't know. I'll be patient though.
I think the only thing that's going why Poole can be I guess the only difficulty with some managers have with Jordan Poole is that they drafted him too high.
Yes.
I think drafting him within the 100 mark is way too high. I think he is outside the 100, maybe 110. Inside the 110 would be okay. If you drafted him above 110, that would probably the best value for him.
We did say that, right? When he was moving up already to the 100, 101, we said that's not good, because you're really betting on him to hit his ceiling, and that's not good. You don't want to draft someone like that at that position. So that's the scary part, which is you're correct.
And don't get us wrong, he has improved a lot. It's just that this is the first time we've seen the new Jordan Poole, and there are inconsistencies, there are challenges with his game at this point, and we have to deal with that, especially if you drafted him too high.
The good news in the second half, they played Iggy with him, and that helped, because Iggy brought the ball down and helped him with that, and help him just score and shoot.
One player who was added in the first day and would most likely be dropped today. I'll say his name right, because someone commented on YouTube that I said his name wrong. It's Bielitsa, right? That's the right.
Bielitsa.
Okay, so that's the right pronunciation of his name, Bielitsa. He had 6.6 rebounds and 16 minutes. Drop now? For 12 team, yes. 14 you can hold. I think 6 and 6 in 16 minutes. Not bad.
14 team. I mean bad, but it's not totally zero. But I think
not bad for someone you picked up.
Yeah, I think it's a matchup situation also. They played Looney more, and Looney played well today. They had to have a matchup for Zubac. So that's a reason also. But they played who else? Otto Porter also some minutes.
Yeah.
Again, we're just new into the season. We're still seeing how things shape up. Otto Porter didn't play much in the first game, played more in the second game. So we'll find
Damian
out.
Lee played more minutes than Jordan Poole. So
we'll have to find out in the third game how this goes. But if you want to drop Jelitka or whatever, Bielitsa, that's okay because he's not really a high upside guy. But I think he will have value this year. That's what I think. Yeah. Overall, if you average it all out, I think he will have value.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Clippers side, Paul George was good as advertised. 29 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal.
5 threes, I think.
Percentages, yes.
Yes. That's a check.
Yep. And I think if there would be people who would be disappointed in a player they drafted, maybe it's Reggie Jackson, who just had 11, not so bad, but he didn't start off well, I guess. I think people expected him to start off faster, better, but considering that Eric Bledsoe, I think, outperformed him a bit, is what worries some of the managers who picked Reggie Jackson.
No, I'm not worried. Bledsoe and Jackson are not mutually exclusive or whatever. They can coexist, and there is a reason why Bledsoe played so well a while ago, and it was because Steph Curry was on him. So what they did was they used Bledsoe as a pick man, the man who gives a pick to Paul George and then lets him roll down to the free throw line. And then what the Warriors did was a double team Paul George and leave Bledsoe wide open in the free throw line, and that's where that's where he's good at. I mean, mid-range shot, and then if not, he's just gonna drive. He's a bull strong guard. You know what this means? Bledsoe can have value this year for one reason. Ty Lue. Ty Lue knows how to use him. And Ty Lue knows how to use players. That's why I'm not afraid with Reggie Jackson, because they need Reggie Jackson because Paul George cannot do it all on his own. They need somebody else. So his shots did not fall, 4 out of 19.
Yeah.
That's okay.
What salvaged Reggie Jackson's line is that he had 6 assists and 5 rebounds.
Yeah.
Which is not bad for your starting point guard.
Bledsoe is an ad, by the way. Yes, he's an ad. I think you have to look and see
should have been drafted. I think should have been that last pick as well. Could have been that last pick. I think we talked about him a little bit.
Yes.
When the news broke out that he was going to start, the manager should consider getting him and see what happens there. Another player that has not been drafted or ranked very low is Terrence Mann.
Yeah, very intrigued with him. 39 minutes today. So
11.7 rebounds and 3 assists.
And he was the one who slowed down Steph. He was the one who slowed down Steph. When the second quarter onwards, he was the guy that they used on Steph. Yeah. The only worry I have is that Nick Batum was out today. Maybe that changes a little bit the minutes, but still.
Terrence Mann could eventually become that guy, that defensive player, that you can assign to the other team's best player. I mean, it usually would be either Paul George or Kawhi, but like you said, Paul George couldn't do it all. I mean, he's still gonna put on the load in the offensive side. So I think Terrence Mann could be that. I don't think Nick Batum could be that.
Yeah. But I don't know what's wrong with Batum, and everybody says prayers up for him and his family. So we hope everything's okay there. But it might be a long absence because it seems serious. Terrence Mann, though, I think he can average 12, 13 points, 2 to 3 3-pointers, and some steals. So for 14 teamers, I think he's good. He's good for
your last man in the roster should be
last man, Terrence Mann.
Yeah, last man in the roster.
Marcus Morris, don't drop him also. Marcus Morris, please don't drop him.
Yep. And
He's
Zubac had 17 minutes but 14 points. I think Zubac is a solid guy with good percentages, and the rebounds are quite down. But hey, it's just the first game.
Zubac over Plumlee, Zubac over Horford, even sometimes for me.
Yeah,
Zubac over Wendell Carter Jr. Easily.
Yep. The percentages, Zubac's percentages are elite. Like, and the efficiencies are elite.
Super underrated. Guy.
It's just that the minutes has always been up and down. I think
it doesn't matter.
But I think without Kawhi now, he would probably get more consistent minutes. Because I think before, with Kawhi, there's that one spot that sometimes goes to Marcus Morris. Now I think he would be a staple there.
How many minutes did he get today? 17, right?
17.
Yeah,
he had 14 points.
That's normal for him. In 17 to 20 minutes, he can be top 100 guy. So don't worry about the minutes. I'm not worried about the minutes. He always is good in limited minutes. That's his specialty. So let him just play those minutes. It's okay.
Yep. Solid. Zubac is solid. All right. So that's it right now we've seen all the teams. If you don't have to panic a bit. You don't have to panic yet if your players aren't performing, because the first game is usually a good gauge, but I think the first week would be the best gauge to see where your players stand or where your fantasy teams stand against the other competition. But yeah, tomorrow there'll be more games, so we'll probably talk about more players tomorrow. Yeah, and that's it for today's quickie, and we'll see you again tomorrow, guys. Bye.